I love your PowerCats, and welcome back to Blake, the visual novel. As you can tell, we're still having problems, but that's okay. Something that bad. Anyway, let's get back to where we were at. Wait, no. Sorry about that. Okay. Cookies was just another term they used for the chiseled model-like servers. They were a mixture of humans and droids, but each had been chosen to work there due to their almost unnatural perfection. For somewhere that sounded hectic, it had a laid-back atmosphere. Maybe this was because everyone was hypnotized by the Barry-esque shows. Blake had a couple of drinks and enjoyed the chatter amongst the group. Who would I like to get to know? Well, since I'm gonna be working with his name is Chris. I'm gonna talk to him for a little bit. Chris wasn't contributing much to the conversations at the table, mostly smiling and nodding. Hey, Chris. I'm asking what he does outside of work. So, what do you like doing with outside of work? I love taking Marv for long walks. He's my dog. Do you like dogs? Yes. Oh, I love dogs. How long have you been at ICC? 4 years. What do you think of Jonathan? He's a very decent man. And what about Max and Arlo? They seem nice. I'm asking him a lot of questions. What do you think of Lee? He seems kind. What do you think of Hari? She seems happy. You don't say much, do you? No. Makes sense. I really don't... I just get bad vibes from Hari. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm gonna go talk to, Max and her, tryptophobia shoulder. I don't have tryptophobia, but it kind of looks like what people are afraid of. Sure, let's chat. Orla's just gone to get some more drinks. How long have you been at ICC? I've been working there for nearly 2 years now. Orla started not long after me. The time has whizzed by. What do you think of Lee? I think he's adorable. Sweet guy. What do you think of Chris? Chris seems friendly, a bit stoic, but harmless from what I can tell. Don't really know him, though, because he works on a different floor. What do you think of Jonathan? He seems like a good, fair CEO. I certainly had worse bosses. What do you think of Orlo? He's okay, I guess. I'm kidding, he's my gaming buddy, my ride or die. Excellent wingman. He can come across a little guard at first, but get to know him and he's very charming. He seems to have a way of talking you into things. Sometimes it's like you don't get a choice. What's your favorite game? I love Ultra Assault. Orlo and I always get involved in the annual tournament, and without it, I probably wouldn't get any exercise. I also love narrative choice games, but it's so annoying when they give you a choice of what to say, and then the character says something completely different. What do you think of Hari? I don't know her that well, and we hang out in different circles, but she seems very positive and happy. You and Orlo are an item? An item? Max laughed. Oh no, he's like a brother to me. Bye. Good chat. I'm gonna go talk to Lee. Hey Blake, let's chat. What do you do outside of work? When I'm not gaming, I like to go running to clear my head. It helps. I bet running works well. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Paired with some good blood-pumping music, it gets really addictive. What do you think of Chris? He seems friendly enough, but I don't know the guy. I mostly talk to Andy when I'm not too busy with my work. What do you think of Andy? Andy's such a cool and friendly dude. I feel like I can talk to him about anything. What do you think of Orlo? He's fun, maybe a bit loud at times. I play games with him and Max occasionally, and it's a laugh. They usually chat away. I'm more of a listener. What do you think of Hari? I haven't spoken much to her, so not much to say really. What do you think of Max? She's nice. I like playing games with her and Orlo. Lee went quiet, his face flushed to a soft pink. Does he like Max, or does he like Orlo, or what's going on there? Bye. Thanks for the chat. I'm not talking to you. I don't like you. I'm talking to you. Hey Blake, Max has just gone for some fresh air. Let's chat. What do you think of Max? Max is a sweetie. I love her. You're in love with Max? Orlo smiled and raised his eyebrows. Not like that. She's my little Max. What do you think of Lee? He seems like a genuine person, but very elusive. Now and then he'll play games online with me and Max, but he doesn't say much outside of game tactics. What do you think of Hari? Not sure about that one. How come? Orlo leaned closer to Blake, quickly glancing to make sure she wasn't in earshot. Well, she doesn't have a imagination account. Does that matter? I'm not saying she has to have one, but it doesn't fit her profile. It begs the question, why isn't she wasting her time here taking pictures of us, her food and her drinks, and uploading them to Imagination? I don't have an Imagination account either. Yes, but that's very much the dark, mysterious Blake, not Hari. What do you think of Jonathan? Busy man, but has time for anyone who asks, which is nice. No complaints. What do you think of Chris? He works on a different floor, so I never met him before. I'll let you know once I get to know him. It's like a little wink emoji. Oh. How long have you been at ICC? I started not long after Max did. Bye. It's been good talking to you. I'm not talking to Hari. I don't like her. Finally back home, Blake trudged in, now tired and a bit peckish. He rubbed his stomach and sat down on the couch. E-screen on. The e-screen came to life. He set the news stream to play when it turned on, as it filled in the silence before looking for something to watch. Kill VR, the controversial killer who hunts down dangerous convicts and records the murders through their bionic eyes, is the focal point in the upcoming documentary, Kill VR, In the Eyes of a Killer. Do I have to censor this? Promising never before seen, ultra-shocking VR footage, including the very first kill from Kill VR's own eyes, the one that started it all. Blake checked his phone idly. One new voicemail since when did anyone use voicemail? Good evening, Blake. How about going for that lunch I mentioned? Tomorrow at Saucy Mama's? I'll have my car come and pick you up at noon. What lunch was he talking about? Their meeting came flashing back. He'd zoned out from the conversation due to a headache. Why on earth would Jonathan want to hang out with him outside of work hours? He hated himself a little for missing something so important. I know how that feels. The light from the E-screen glared at Blake. The news channel illuminated the room as it flashed from one scene to the next. As usual, he had nodded off with the E-screen chanting in the background. The thick, dark curtains were drawn, blocking out any ounce of light that would have allowed one to speculate the time of day, but that's the way he preferred it. The time blinked in blue light from the side of his bed. 11:11 a.m. Overslept again. Gone were the days he used to spring out of bed at 8 a.m. or even earlier. This is kind of hitting home. The sound from the e-screen was muffled, rummaging around. He retrieved the remote from underneath him, and instantly reaped the words of comfort. Level 3 on the sound. It was too quiet to hear. He must have fallen asleep on it. Turning up the volume, he could now hear the newsreader breathlessly reporting on a story of a theft at the Owl Sanctuary just hours ago. The Owl Sanctuary? Did someone steal an owl? Police believe that the Parliament of Owls was stolen in the middle of the night, between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. However, no witnesses have come forward as of yet. If anyone has any information of this, please contact the local number for Eaststone Police Department, quoting reference 282820. Who would commit such a horrible, heartless act? Blake choked himself. He thought that not only was she reporting the news, but offering her own opinion on it. He missed the days when news consisted of facts rather than including speculation and emotion. He could see that he had to agree with her on this occasion. Who would commit such a heinous crime? Gathering his senses, movement from above caught his eye. Something was in the shadows or all around him. 14 spherical objects were reflecting the images from the news. The objects disappeared and reappeared at different intervals. The hooting noise on the E-screen made him jump. Wait, no. That wasn't on the E-screen. Wait. Is Blake unknowingly, like, committing crimes and he doesn't realize it? This kind of reminds me of, The Sixth Sense. Or not that. The Close Encounters with the Third Kind or something like that, where there's, like, people are dreaming about owls and stuff. How the F did they get here? Was someone pulling a prank? You stole them, buddy. Well, I think you stole them. He quickly checked the flat to make sure there were no uninvited guests, apart from the owls. What was he going to do? How could he make this right? Maybe say, hey, I found these owls. That doesn't usually work. Be like, hey, I found these owls. It was his phone. Jonathan's car was there, here to pick him up. It's like a self-driving car. Oh, F. Triple F. F. I'm trying not to like cuss as much on here because like I don't know if I get like in trouble or not. He rushed around getting ready. The owl problem would have to wait a little longer. Jonathan was already sitting at a table waiting for Blake. Thank you for joining me on your day off. Blake smiled and sat down. I invited you because we have something important to discuss. Something I should have made you aware of earlier. I just hadn't found the right time. Jonathan executed a film noir aesthetic, but of course, no one but him even knew what that was for the man who was the face of the future. He loved to live in the past. What's wrong with that? I see what he meant now. They are... The server appeared and Jonathan bided his time. Put our order on my tab. It's Mr. Gourdane. I'll have a bottle of Bluebeard. Make that too. Blake thought about the owl problem back at the home, and now he felt stuck whilst the situation was getting worse. 2 Bluebirds coming up. The server prodded her tablet before sauntering off. Jonathan looked curious, like he was scrutinizing a puzzle for its solution. What is it? You're troubled. Might I be able to help you? Blake shot a furtive glance around the restaurant, satisfied that there were no eavesdroppers present. He continued in a lowered voice. I'm gonna be honest. Boop! Here your drinks. Blake knocked back a large swig of Bluebird and weighed up his options. He was in 2 minds, but he had no choice but he had to tell Jonathan. I had a few drinks last night, went to sleep, and then when I woke up, this morning there were a bunch of stolen owls in my flat all around me. I think I might have stolen them. Jonathan seemed calm and collected. You don't remember doing it? Stealing the owls? No, not at all. Jonathan leaned back in thought and took a deep inhalation. This reminded him of his smoking e-pipe. He enjoyed ancient relics from an era that had been lost to the affliction of time. Out of his collection, he especially admired an antiqued pipe he had, antiquated, had created from a stall on the opposite side of the city. He had his e-pipe specifically redesigned to replicate it. All I know is, this morning I woke up to the news channel showing a story about some stolen owls. Moments later, I find these missing owls staring down at me from my curtain rail, my shelves, my bed frame, everywhere. Pretty much on top of whatever they could perch on. I don't remember stealing them or putting them there. I know that for certain, but I have no idea who did it. How they broke into my flat, or how they could have get them there without me noticing. Beep! Someone is having a joke. The owl and the wood mouse ran away. In an elegant pumpkin carriage, they journeyed wide and far under the stars. Oh, what a beautiful marriage. What is it? He read the text out loud. The Owl and the Wood Mouse. What's that? It's an old poem about two unlikely species, the owl and the wood mouse, hunter and prey, who want to be together, but it's not seen as acceptable in the forest, so they run away to live together in harmony. It's a love story. Jonathan rubbed his gray stubble. And now this becomes also very interesting. You have a message from the culprit, so I think it's safe for us to deduce that this wasn't the act of a drunken mule. Possible a harmless, albeit reckless prank, an overzealous admirer, a jilted ex-lover perhaps? Or maybe a co-worker. Oh, what if it was Hari? Or what if it was like, maybe Chris or someone like did something to him? I doubt it would be my ex Stacy. She wouldn't do something like this, and she lives in a different city now anyway. Jonathan looked inspired, eyes lit up with wonder and determination. He got into full detective mode. He looks like one. He looks like one too. I always wanted a jacket like that. I am intrigued to see where this will lead us. Us? Yes, you need to analyze the crime scene for clues, and if it's not too much to bother, I'd be elated to join you in this exciting endeavor. Watch when they get there, the owls are gone. Like, not even a feather is there, just they're all gone. Before Blake could interject, Jonathan continued. Let's head to your apartment and see if we can find any clues. We need to ensure the owls are in good health, and then we'll have them return home safely. They head outside into the bitter cold. Jonathan took a breath of e-pipe. He blew out a mixture of Earl Grey, scented smoke, and cold air, which formed a cloud that enveloped him. So he's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes in the future. I never liked Earl Grey tea. Gives me a headache. Why Jonathan had wanted to meet at Saucy Mama's in the first place was still a question at the back of Blake's mind, but it would have to stay there for now. I swear my keycard was in here. I'll have to use my phone pass instead. Search for clues. This is a beer I had before I went to bed. Nothing weird about that. On the contrary, Blake. You said you don't remember hearing anything all night, yes? Correct. Is there a chance someone could have tampered with your drink? That could explain why I slept in so late. Blake looked startled and horrified and gave the drink a sniff. You wouldn't necessarily smell or taste it, but let's move on for now. If you have like a shake for it or something. Hold on a minute. You just said I might have been drugged. There was no way to test it in the right here and now. But we will get to that. We need to rule every possibility out. There's my key card. Someone stole it. That's a strange place for it to be. Always keep it in my wallet. But he took out his wallet and inspected it. Exclamation point. Huh? Someone has ripped a hole in the bottom of the card holder. Does anyone have access to your keycard apart from you? No, normally, but I dropped it in the meeting room the other day. Chris found it and returned it to me. Maybe Chris or Haria. I'm still saying maybe Chris. I don't know. It's never happened before. Interesting. Have you left your wallet anywhere unattended recently? No, not that I recall. Why would someone cut a hole in your wallet to get the keycard instead of just taking it? I guess to get access to the keycard without looking suspicious. But I mean, if you're ripping a hole in there, be like, hey, what the heck, what are you doing? I'm gonna go with this. This is a potential possibility, but a small one at that. By cutting a hole in the wallet, they wouldn't be able to guarantee when it would drop. And if they had access to your wallet, why not just simply take the keycard then? Most likely someone wanted your keycard to drop so someone else would pick it up and alert you to the fact that it wasn't secure. This also means that someone may have had access to your apartment since before Friday. This all sounds a little complicated and far-fetched. It does, and all the more intriguing. There's this little, like, is that like a pin? Oh yeah, on the floor was a tablet pin. Blake vaguely recognized it from somewhere and took a closer look. The tablet pen was a bright shade of pink with an aggressively chewed end. Could it be Max? Blake didn't have the tendency to eat pens. It was an efficient way of getting unwanted germs. And he certainly wouldn't want to use one that someone else's mouth had been intimate with. Yuck, someone's chewed this pen. This might be a clue to who was last in possession of this pen. It's Max. The word Max Hacks was in the big turquoise letters down the side. Max Hacks? Let's check what's it. Jonathan opened the What's It app and took so it's kind of like WhatsApp, and took a picture of the lettering. First match here is an Imagination account belonging to our very own Max. It showcases some of her hacking knowledge, but it's mainly screenshots of her gaming on her Nudge stream. It's things like this that will eternally baffle me. Call me an old fuddy-duddy, but when everyone is busy streaming what they are doing, who's left to watch? Good point. Blake had no idea what fuddy-duddy meant, and noticed Jonathan had a tendency to use a large number of outdated words. However, that is beside the point. How did it get here in your apartment? I honestly don't know. It's a calling card. Or someone's trying to frame both Max and, Blake. There was a piece of material stuck to the nib of the pen. There's a small piece of silk material on the end there. This is all very intriguing. It looks like the material from the nib of the pen is from my wallet, so someone used the pen to rip a hole in it. Whoever had access to the pen in your wallet is our prime suspect right now. What does this all mean? I don't know, but something isn't right. Clearly. I believe there's more to this than we initially thought. So you suspect foul play? Precisely. The next thing we can do to advance our investigation is to check this building CCTV. They still have cameras like that in the future. But first, let's get these owls back home. Dasha took out a familiar-looking device. You have an HD device with you? Oh yes. This isn't a prototype version though. Jonathan started to message someone, and Blake thought back to the owl and the wood mouse text he received. The message has had no sender. So it is probably, Chris, but why would he do this though? Is he like jealous? What's going on? He seems nice, but that could be deceiving though. Call should be here soon to come and pick up the owls. I mean, what could it be? Jonathan? But if it's Jonathan, then why is he helping Blake unless he's trying to build trust so he can do something else to him? And, I may be a criminology major, but sometimes I have trouble thinking in a sociological way. Who's Claude? He's a friend that works at the NSPD. Wait, what? You informed a police officer? Detective. I mean, Jonathan feels confident, like, calling him, so I'm pretty sure he can trust him, so I'm gonna ask if you help him. And this detective will help me? Yes, he won't tell anyone. The perks of being a CEO that has a lot of money, you can just do whatever you want, basically. He's our personal contact in case of emergencies. So you're saying you can just do what you want and he'll say you are an anonymous tipper? Well, I can't do anything I want, but it wouldn't be responsible. But he's always there to assist if I need a favor. Jonathan's voice softened a little. In the meantime, whilst we wait, we should sit down and talk. I still have something very pressing I need to discuss, and here's probably the best place to do that. Blake was intrigued and half expected Jonathan to swipe his hand across the air to magically reveal his pressing agenda. Go on. Firstly, I want to say that although the circumstances here with your owl situation are a little odd, to say the least, I am enjoying spending time helping you. Jonathan was searching for the right words to continue. I'd like to direct this conversation to your past. More importantly, that you had a change in guardianship at a young age. It seemed an odd direction for the conversation, but it took a lot to faze him. You mean when I was adopted? Yes. You see, the thing is, Blake, there's no easy way for me to say this, but... Is Jonathan his dad? Jonathan looked down at the ground momentarily. I knew it. I am your biological father. Well, that's the part why he's helping him. That's nice. And now that I kind of look at it, he kind of does look like Blake a little bit. Really? A deafening silence swept across the room as they both let the information sink in. Blake was clearly confused. It was a reaction that Jonathan had anticipated. They simmered in the moment. Jonathan patiently awaited whilst deep in thought about how to continue the conversation. Why didn't you tell me? Why are you telling me this now? I know you must be feeling thunderstruck by this news. I can understand that. But here, take this. It contains all the documents in it. They're yours now. It has all the information you need. As much as he would have preferred to be handing over a brown envelope with string and washer, the mini flash drive would have to do. The small object was encompassed in the palm of his hand. Jonathan's expression started to soften as he handed it over. Blake studied the back of Jonathan's wrinkled hand as he held it out. The snaking veins reminded him of a valley of winding rivers. Jonathan began an attempt to explain it more, but was interrupted by the doorbell. They got here fast. We'll discuss this later, I promise. Blake opened the door and in walked Claude. He nodded at Blake. His eyes scanned the room. Then his attention quickly went to Jonathan. I like his giant tie. But he also has a giant tie, I realized that. Watch ya. So where is the mess then? Thank you so much for coming, Claude. Blake, do you mind if I take him to see the owls? Jonathan pointed to ask which way Blake's bedroom was. Sure, go ahead. It's just down there on the right. Watch the owls not be there. I'll watch them be dead. I think they did check to see if they were healthy, so... Once they left the room, Blake sat back and thought about what Jonathan had just told him, and toyed with the flash drive between his fingers. He grabbed his computer and slotted the flash drive in. Scrutinizing the documents, there was a birth certificate, same birthday as the one he celebrated, adoption documents, and a family picture. Is his mom, a person of color? A smiling 6-year-old Blake, his mom, and a proud-looking 30-something-year-old Jonathan. Blake had vague memories of his parents, but it was mostly a blur. Jonathan had felt familiar when they first met, but thinking back, the man seemed different now to what he remembered. Time and success most likely aged and shaped him into the person he'd become, and they had over 2 decades to catch up on. This all looks legit. Blake Gordane. Wow, that's gonna take some getting used to. But why don't I remember this clearly? Maybe something traumatic happened? Right. I'm going to need to transport the owls somewhere, secure and release them into an area where they can't escape. Then I can call it in as an anonymous tip-off. That way no evidence will be found. You can use the abandoned computer store. ICC, procured the building, and the renovation isn't due to commence until next month. There's no CCTV, and you can use the side street for discretion. There is a normal half-assed precipitation going on outside as Blake checked out the sliding balcony doors. He imagined it would work in their favor for keeping the streets quiet. They transferred the owls to the back of the police van, concealed inside multiple cardboard boxes. It was an arduous task, done to ensure that none of the owls were harmed in the process. Again, for my utmost appreciation for your assistance with this, Claude. Please let me know when it's all done. Claude tipped his hat at Jonathan and gave another nod to Blake before leaving. Jonathan noticed the family picture on Blake's computer screen and smiled. I'm very fond of that picture. The smile faded and a glint of sadness showed in his eyes. Jonathan cleared his throat and knew that Blake would also need some time before the news sink in. Let's go back to the owl situation, how this could have happened. Let's analyze the evidence we have. Is there anything prominent that sticks out here? It seemed a meticulous and investigative nature ran in their blood. Blake took a moment to choose words carefully. The sender's name was blank on the text. The sender's name on the text I got was blank, which means it was someone who had with access to the HD device. Well, this is very strange, and news to me. I can imagine this may make me look like a suspect. However, I can assure you it wasn't me. For now, you will have to take my word for it. There's another way I might be able to help you shed some light on the culprit. I'll pick you up tomorrow and we'll check your apartment's security footage. Try to get some rest. Blake had a moment to take in his surroundings and let out a big breath. Whew! I did too. He decided to go survey the damage in the bedroom. Feathers were everywhere and bird shit, just like he had predicted. He clicked on the news channel and started to scrub. It was more difficult to clean than anticipated. Nothing on the news about the owls yet, but it was too soon. He had to bag up these feathers tight, or maybe make a pillow out of them. Room cleaned, he could finally rest. I want to know more about the Kill VR person. It seems like an important thing going on. The next morning felt nice and calm in Blake's apartment, just how he liked it. A new day, no concerns. If anyone has information on Sam Stevens' whereabouts, we'd urge you to come forward and please contact the Hive team. The newsfile switched to what he had been waiting for. And some good news today. At 8 a.m. this morning, all 7 of the missing owls were delivered back to Newstone Owl Sanctuary, after the detective located them at a local closed-down store. I'm assuming since they were so, upset about the owls, maybe our animals are almost extinct in this timeline, maybe? I don't know. Although there is no evidence to suggest who committed the crime, we can confirm that no harm came to the owls, and they are very happy to be home. Some good news for once. The clip of the reporter outside the buildings cut to a montage of cute owls accompanied by a silky-voiced male narrator telling his audience which owls are close buddies and how they like to spend their spare time. The report finished up with the request for donations. It was clear the Owl Sanctuary was making the most of this opportunity to promote. Hey Blake, get down here. Pronto. We've got some investigating to do. Where are we going? You'll see. Jonathan was driving manually and concentrating on what he was doing. Blake didn't understand why Jonathan didn't just use autopilot, but chalked up to being another of his anachronistic eccentricities. I'm sorry, guys. Blake made a bet with himself that Jonathan probably still drank water from the tap too. Hey, drinking water from the tap's actually healthier for you. They travel outside of the business district to the east part of Newstone. Around here, they call it Newstone. Large, opulent houses, lavishly decorated and possessing the newest of technical gadgetry. The gardens exhibit the finest topiary and exotic plants. This part of town was heavily surveyed by private security firms and personal bodyguards. Only the top businessmen, the richest celebrities, and high rollers lived here. Jonathan had an assault course of security systems to override to gain access to his house. The spacious living room was white and black with a minimalistic style, exceptionally tidy due to the hired cleaner who visited every couple of days. An open-plan kitchen joined at the far back of the room, gray, silver, black, white, and no colors to be seen anywhere. Only one room in the house possessed a slightly wider color palette, and that was Jonathan's work-at-home office. The circular, archaic bookcase, the odd contraptions in the Cabinet of Wonders, and some sort of leafless tree-type sculpture thing lurked in the corner of the room. It was just how Blake had imagined. Okay. Well, we are at 35 minutes right now. About to be 36. I'm gonna stop right here after I saved just now. I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you in the next video, everyone. If you want to like, subscribe, or share, go for it. If you want to subscribe to my channel, go for it. If you want to follow my social media, go for it. The links are in the description. I'll see you in the next video, so stay tuned, everyone.